towards the end of Paul's life, we find him, Luke, and a few others, together with a boat full of prisoners, sailors, and soldiers on their way to Rome. Now, Paul has appealed his case to Caesar. He has invoked his right as a Roman citizen to stand in front of the emperor. And on their way across the Mediterranean Sea, the wind's in their favor, everything is going smoothly. Paul, he says, this is not going to end well. This is the wrong time of year to be making a journey like this. But they choose to continue. They want to get to Rome. And when then suddenly the winds shift, and it says that a real northeastern comes down on them, Paul witnesses panic. Paul witnesses crisis. Paul witnesses people all around him giving up. Now, they do everything they can because as people, of course, in a crisis, we do everything we can. They throw cargo overboard. They throw the tackle overboard. They throw everything they can possibly do without overboard. And when they have not seen the sun, moon, or stars for 3 days, they finally throw hope overboard. I think we've witnessed this over the past year during the pandemic. People throwing hope overboard. And some for lesser reasons and some for greater reasons, because it has been said too many times during this pandemic that we are all in the same boat. And I don't believe that's true. Sure, we're all in the middle of the same pandemic, but that's the same storm. It's not the same boat. Some people have lost their jobs, some people have died, and other people are fine. But we are in the same storm. And in any storm, in any crisis, a lot of us start to question our faith. And maybe you have as well. What do we do in those situations? Well, Paul, on this ship, he reassures them. And the reason he could reassure them is because an angel shows up and tells Paul that no lives are going to be lost, but they have to stay with the ship. And when Paul is relaying this message to the sailors and to the prisoners, to the captain, to the owner, I wonder if Luke wrote it down, because when I read this, I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is really a statement of faith in the middle of crisis. He says, he tells them to keep courage because I have faith in God that it will be exactly as I have been told. That's an incredible statement to make. That is courage. That is calm. That is hope in the middle of a storm. I have faith in God that it will be exactly as I have been told. Now, whatever you have gone through and whatever we will go through in this pandemic and in other crises of life, how can we find courage like this? Well, I think one of the solutions, at least, is to read these stories. Because I know that the temptation is to give up. But when we read stories like this and we see the enormous faith that Paul had, the way he encouraged people around him not to give up hope, then hopefully we can do that too. We can dig deep, we can encourage people around us, and we can say with the stories that we know that it will be like God has said. And that means that in the end, whatever boat you're in, whatever storm that hits us, there will come a day when we are standing on that sea of glass. And on that day, we will all be in the same boat, because we will be in the boat that Christ sends us for our salvation. And I pray that day comes soon.